Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. This is Tanzeel Mirza. This is a continuation of previous two videos where we learned the basic concepts of MongoDB and Mongoose schema. Let me give you a very quick recap of the previous two sessions. So in the first video we saw how data is stored in MongoDB and that is in the form of JSON. Let me show you that screenshot. So yeah, it was like a JSON. It's not actually a JSON, but just to relate the things I said JSON. And in the second video, we learned about Mongoose. We learned about schema in Mongoose. So now today in this lecture, we'll create one schema. That is, we'll write the code and see things happening live. Here is our tentative plan. Let me just, yeah. So this is our plan for today. Let's see how much time we have and how much we can cover in this particular video. If there are some leftover topics, we'll cover in the next video. So let's see how much time we have. Okay, so here's the plan. First we'll create a server with Express.js, then we'll create API endpoints, and since this session is exclusively for MongoDB and Mongoose, we'll not go into the details of the server and API code. Yes, I'll be adding comments, but we'll not go into the details. And then in API file itself, we'll write the code to connect the MongoDB using Mongoose. After that, we'll write the schema and we'll see the actual use of Mongoose schema in action. Then we'll need Postman, and if you haven't installed Postman yet, please install it. However, we can still for getting the data, we can still use your favorite browser. That's okay. But while inserting the data, for that purpose, we need this Postman. So it's better to install it if you haven't. Without wasting any time, let's create a new project folder. Let me minimize this. We don't need this anymore. Okay, I'll open a terminal, cd documents, and sorry for this noisy keyboard. Cd documents, and then here I'll create, let's say I'll call it Mongo app, or I'll just call it MongoDB app. Hit enter. Now I'll navigate into this thing, MongoDB app. Okay, I want this project to be a node project. Okay, since things becomes easy when you have npm to manage your dependencies. So what I'll do, I'll just run one command here. First let me open this in a code editor, that is I'm using VS Code. Okay, close this tab, I'll open the terminal here itself, and I'm going to run one command, npm init. This will create one package JSON for you where we'll decide the dependencies. Now it will ask for some information, for few information. I want everything to be default, so I'll just press enter everywhere till it generates the package JSON file. Package name, let it be version, okay, description, okay. I'm just hitting the enter key. Author, license, okay, yes, it's okay. So here one package JSON has been created, and if you open this package JSON, you will get this boilerplate code. Now I'm going to add our dependencies here. To do so, I'll add one more object here called dependencies, and here we'll add our dependencies. I could have copy pasted, but no, I want to type along with you, so I'll do it. First thing first, we need a body parser. This is it's a middleware in Node.js. I will talk about this thing later. Okay, body parser, and I want this version 2.8.5. Then we need CORS, which is for cross origin. These are the minimum dependencies that I'm adding. We need these. Then of course Express is required, 4.17.1. Then we need JSON web token, and we need which version? We'll be looking for let's say 8.5.1. After that we need Mongoose, of course. Mongoose is required, and the version that I'm looking for is 5.6.13, and then serve. Anything greater than 11.3.2. Actually, we don't need this JSON web token for today at least, but still let's install it for the future demos. This is basically used for authenticating. Okay, we'll talk about this later, but just add it. I'll save the code. Okay, this being done, now I'll run npm install, or I can just do npm I. Let it install all the dependencies. And to save your time, I'll just paste the same thing in the description below. You can copy paste from there. What happened? Let me look into this. JSON web token, my bad, there is a spelling mistake. Okay, add it. Now again I'll have to run npm I. Now what's wrong? Again there is a spelling mistake. Body parser. What's happening today? Let me just cross check the remaining course is okay. Body parser. Okay, what it is saying, no matching version found for body parser 285. Okay, 285 is not there. Let me try this version, anything which is greater than 1.19.0. let's try installing this. Hopefully this should be found there, and done. Yeah, so now node modules have been created and all these dependencies are met. Okay, so as I said, just to save your time, I'll paste this entire thing, this entire block, I'll paste it in the description below. You can just copy paste. Now let's quickly add server and API code. Again, just to save the time, I'm going to paste the code from here. I'll provide these two files. I have those files with me. So one is this cd dot. Okay, so just to save the time, I'll just copy paste these files for now, and I'll provide these two files in the description also. Let me add this one by one. First goes the server code. Here I'll add one file. It's called server.js. Just paste the file here, the code here, and I'll be running this server on port 3000. You can use any port of your choice, that's okay. Now we'll add one API code, api.js. Go back to my file. Don't worry about these files, I'll just paste them. I'll provide the link. Maybe I'll upload them on GitHub or somewhere, but I'll give you the link. So this is the minimal code that we required. API also. I'll talk about this string. I'll talk about the code, from where I got this string and from where I got this DB and password and cluster and this thing. I'll talk about that. But right now we are interested in the API.js, particularly in API.js rather than server.js. Why? Because this is the place, this is the code where we make the actual connection. What I mean is, in API.js only, we'll write the code to connect our application with MongoDB using Mongoose. Okay, so we'll do that right now. And as I said, this video is the continuation of part 1 and part 2. Why I am insisting this much on first two parts is because today we need one connection string. We need username, we need connection string, we need database name, and we need the password of that database. All this I have covered in part 1 and part 2. So here is my piece of code. I mean, here is my piece of information. Grids. Here is my piece of information. So in the previous two parts, I have shown you that from where you can get the connection string, from where you can create the database name, everything you can create. You can watch that video and come back. So here is my piece of information. Now what we'll do, let me go back to the code. We don't need this right now. Minimize this. I'll go back to the API code. Yeah. Okay, so we'll start with require statements. We'll keep on adding what we require. So first thing first, this express is required, which we have already imported here. Okay, I think this much I have copied from the server file. Okay, now I'll go back to the API. Let's delete this extra line. So first thing first, we need express here. Okay, we need express, we need router, and we need mongoose. And then the first thing is that we need to connect to the MongoDB. We will use connect method of mongoose to connect to the MongoDB. I'll show you that in a couple of minutes. But first, let me tell you about this connection string. So this is my DB name. This is my password of this DB. This is my cluster. This is my database name. Okay, this is my DB username. Sorry, this is my DB username. This is the password of that user, and this is my database. This is the cluster. Okay, so this you will get from the MongoDB itself. I have shown you in the part 2 that how to get these things, part 1 and part 2. So please go back to part 1 and generate your own credentials and the connection string. Link I am giving in the description below. So this being said, let's now start the coding. After this, after importing all the necessary things, what we'll do is one thing JSON web token is not required. I'll just use the connect method of mongoose. Okay, then the connection string. First thing first is the DB, which is the connection string. This will go first, and then one object we need, use unified topology we need. We'll set the value to true. Use new URL parser. We'll set it to true. And the last thing is use find and modify, and we'll set it to false. Okay, after this we'll pass one callback. Inside this callback, if error is caught, if some error arises, we'll just log that error and we'll call it error err, or else we'll just log successfully connected to MongoDB. Okay, let me just cross check the spelling because I make a lot of spelling mistakes. Use unified topology looks correct. Use, here there is a spelling mistake. Use new URL parser, again there is a spelling mistake. And then use find and modify, that looks correct. Okay, let me save the code. Done. Before going ahead, let's test the connection and see what happens. Let me clear everything, and then what I'll do, just node server.js. What happened? Cannot find the, okay, this is the problem. It has to be API only. Yeah, the path was incorrect. Be careful while you copy paste the code. Let me clear the terminal first and let's see if the connection is happening or not. And yes, the connection was successful. So far so good. Now comes the interesting part. We'll read the data from MongoDB. Okay, and today we'll see get and insert operations only. Delete and update, modify, etc. we'll see in the next video. Let's go to the MongoDB now and manually insert some data so that we can write the code to read the same data. Okay, so now I'll go back to the MongoDB databases and browse the collections. So in the first part, in the first video, we created a database and we created this showroom and these cars. Right now the query result is 0 because there is no data in it. Now we'll try to manually insert the data and then we'll write the code to read the same data. Okay, right now I'm going to add data for cars. Let's say model. Okay, the model is Mercedes, I don't know. Okay, let's say QA12 and the color may be black. What else we can add? Country we can add, let's say USA. That's it. We'll insert the data. This one record is known as document, so we have inserted one document here. Now we'll go back to the code and we'll write the code for that to read the same data. Go back to the VS Code. Server we don't need, API JS is enough. We'll do all the coding here itself. So okay, so here we'll start writing the code. After the connection is successful, router dot get method we want, and the API endpoint that we want is cars. And wait a second, so this is the endpoint. This is the endpoint we need to that we would hit to get the records of all the cars stored in the MongoDB. Okay, it can be something else. If you are storing for cars or bike or anything, then it has to be adjusted accordingly. But wait, you should be asking one question here. How will our code know that from which collection it has to read the records? Why I'm asking this question is, right now we have cars only. Let's say we have one more collection called bikes. Let it be empty for now. Let's say we have one database and there are two collections in it. One is bike and other is cars. Now how will our code know that from which collection it has to read, from which collection, whether it's bike or cars? Because in the API endpoint I can make it anything. Okay, I can make it the route, I can rename it to anything, but how our code will know that we have to fetch that, okay, that from which collection it has to collect the data. So that's where Mongoose schema comes into picture. We will leave this code here itself and I'll create one schema. So these schemas are exported as models. So as a good practice, we create a folder. And why as a module? So that it can be reused in the same project again and again. Okay, so it's as a good practice, we create a folder called modules, and inside modules we will create one car module also. Okay, so let me just leave it here itself, save the code. I'll create one folder, modules all. Okay, let it be modules, and inside modules I'll create one file and I'll call it cars dot or just car.js. Let me open this file parallel to the right, parallel to API.js. But there are some steps to be followed to create a schema. Let me go back to the steps. So these are the steps. I'll just open it here and we'll keep on we need car.js right now. Okay, we'll start writing the code, and I'll just keep on removing the steps that we have already taken. Okay, so that we know that we have completed all the steps. First thing first, we need mongoose. Const mongoose is equals to require mongoose. Now I'm going to create one schema variable. Schema is equals to mongoose dot schema. Now I'll reuse the same variable, const car schema is equals to new schema, and one object will go there. Now here we'll decide the module. Okay, what we decided there: model, color and country. Same thing here, model which will be of type string, color type string, and then country of origin type string. Any spelling mistakes? Model string, color, country string. Great. Now last step is to export the schema as module. So require module, we have require mongoose here we have done. I'll just add it here itself instead of removing. This was our step 1. Create schema variable, this is 2, and this was 3. Now the fourth point is export the schema as module so that it can be imported and required in other files also in the same project. So what we'll do is module dot exports mongoose dot model. Okay, let me tell you something about this method. Mongoose.model is a method of mongoose itself. It takes 2 parameters. Generally it takes 2 parameters. One is the collection, the first parameter is the collection name, which is car on MongoDB, and the other is the collection schema which we just created here. So let's add it. Collections name, this name should match with the collection we have created here, cars and cars. Okay, otherwise the connection will not be successful. Cars, and then the collection name, the collection schema name is car schema. Just to be sure, I'll just copy paste the value so that there is no spelling mistake. Car schema. Done. We'll save the code, and now we'll go back to the API.js where we left. We don't need this thing now. I'll just maximize it, and we'll go back to the API code, and let's complete the code. First we'll require the cars module that we just created. We required that, so I'll say const, just capitalize it, car is equals to, as a convention I capitalized, require. Let's check the project folder. It is in modules. So what we'll do is modules, and inside modules we have car. There's no need to add js.js extension here, that's enough. Okay, now let's complete this method. So here we'll say cars, or just car is enough. This is the API endpoint, and within the get itself I'll call one callback function, and it will take one request and one response. Okay, let me log something. We'll say fetching all cars from MongoDB. Let car post is equals to require dot body. I am doing this because I'll be using tomorrow I'll be using, I mean in this particular video itself I'll be using Postman. So we may be sending the this thing, this object of the car. So let's add it there. But I don't think it's required. That body will be required when we'll be inserting the data, so it's not required here. Let it be. I'll just remove it. Okay, so after that I'll do car dot, it's capitalized, car dot, there is one method called find. Okay, and then we'll have to find all, this means find all, and then we'll have to use the exec method. Inside exec it will use one function, and this function contains two parameters. One is the error and other is the cars object. Okay, so first thing first, if error is caught, we'll just say, just log one error, error getting cars, or else we'll just log this cars object, and we'll send the same as a response also. This we can see on the browser or the Postman, whatever you are using, same will send as a response as well. Done. I'll save the code and let me clear everything and try to run the server again. Node server.js. Let it give some time. Connection was successful. Now we'll go back to the browser. Okay, but before going to the browser, let's test this in the Postman. Since this is the standard tool, I'll tell you how to do it in browser itself also, but first do it the standard way, which is the Postman. Let me close the other tabs, these are not required. Let it load. Yeah, our server is running on localhost 3000. Let me first do this itself, and it is going to be a GET request. Select GET from here. Done. Server is up and running. API cannot get. Okay, I forgot to make that. This is cars. Let's quickly cross check. Okay, the endpoint is car, so here also I'll be using car, not cars. Let me make the request, and yes, we are getting the data. See, the data which we stored there on MongoDB, here itself we are getting that. Okay, so this is how it works. So far so good. Let's now go back to the schema and try to tamper the schema and see what happens. I'm going back to the schema, which happens to be this car.js. And what if let's say I'm going to remove everything from here. Okay, I did not create any schema. Let's say that we have removed everything. Then let's see what happens. And also one more point I forgot to mention, that since we were using this console.car, so this is being outputted here as well. Anyway, now let's close the server and run it again, but first I would like to clear everything. Give it some time. Okay, it's connected. Now let me again make the request. Let's see what happens. Same thing. This is not even required. Why I'm putting this? Okay, send, and again I'm getting the data. Okay, even if I remove the half of the keys, let's say I'll put it back there, then it will be easier. Let's say I remove half of the things from here, then also you will get the complete data. Okay, if even if I change the keys, let's say it's there, even if I change the keys, I make it something else, country also I made something else, and this thing I altered to number, this thing I, let's say I altered to boolean, then also you will get the entire data. So clearly the data model has no effect on the data being fetched. All you need is the collection name and it will fetch the data for you, which is here. Okay, so in the get case this model doesn't matters that much. Okay, it doesn't matters that much. So you just need to mention this scheme collection name here and it will fetch the data for you. Similarly, you can create a schema for bike, which we have already created here. Okay, similarly you can create a schema for that as well, that is fine. So I hope you are able to follow till here, because now we'll see how to insert the data in a collection. Let's say uh, let's say I want to store information of some books. Okay, but this time we'll not create anything manually. This time we'll write the code to create the collection also on MongoDB, and we'll also write the code to insert the data or document into that collection. Let's save the code first and let me go back to the MongoDB. I just want to confirm something. So yeah, right now we have only two collections, that is cars and bikes. We'll now create a collection through the code and we'll insert the data through code. So let's now quickly create one schema for the books. We don't need these cars anymore, or maybe we need this, just to copy the code. Okay, for the schema, and I'm going to create one schema called, not here, inside the modules I'll create one more schema called books. My bad, this has to be books.js. Okay, we'll just modify a few things. Required mongoose schema is required. Instead of car schema we'll call it book schema, new schema, and obviously this will go away. These are not the properties of a book. For a book the property should be title, which is of type string. Author will be of type string, and what else, price will be of type number, and is on sale, is it on sale, let's say it's of type boolean, yes or no. Okay, and instead of this thing cars, what we'll do, I'll use book, and here I'll say book schema. I'll save the code now. Notice that here I have written book and not books. If you look at this car.js, I have written cars. Okay, I have written cars, and if I go back to the Mongo, here also it is cars, here also it is bikes, but in the case of book I have just called it book. Okay, I'm not calling it books. I'll show you something very interesting about model method. So now we'll add an endpoint to the insert data, to insert the data. Let me just split it to the right, we don't need this, and then the API. Okay, this was the code for getting the data. Now we'll write the code to insert the data into this collection. Let's do it quickly. This time we need post, and the API endpoint will be, let's say, add book. Again, one callback with request and response. This callback we need. Let me console log something here, and we'll say adding one book to MongoDB. Or why MongoDB to the collection, we'll say let book post is equals to request dot body. That object, I'll tell you, we'll send an object to be the object which has to be pushed to MongoDB will pass as a body from Postman, which will go as a request, as a post request. So I'm just fetching that body part from the request. Let say post is equals to new of type book, but before that, why it's not saying? Because we haven't imported the book. Okay, book equals to require, what happened, book equals to require from the modules. I need book, books, book or books, whatever the name is. Okay, here it's book. Now we'll go back to that place, book, and then this book post. After that, I'll use post dot save, again a callback function, error, or let me call it success post. It's a callback method. If there is an error, I hope you are able to follow along. I'll just log it and I'll just say error, or else response dot status will be 200, and also we'll send a successful post. Done. Let's save the code and see what happens. Let me remove some extra lines. Okay, I've saved the code and I'll clear the log and then run it again. Let's see what happens. Okay, there is an error. Let's see. Address already in use 3000. I don't see any server running right now. Let me just cross check. I don't think it's running. Let me see what's the problem. I'll fix it quickly and come back to you and explain the solution as well. So here was the fix, guys. I don't know why it was complaining that the address is already in use 3000. So what I did, instead of, I went back to the server.js, and instead of port number 3000, I just changed it to 4000. Okay, the console statement still says 3000, but let it be just a console statement. Okay, so I just changed it this to 4000. Now we'll go back. It should not complain, but this is not the right time to fix these errors. Let me open Postman again. Okay, API, and then what we'll do, we'll hit the endpoint, which is put back that, yeah, add book. We'll be using this only. Save it and rerun the server. Connected, go to the Postman, and the same endpoint I'm going to hit. Now this will need a body. Okay, body, and I'll just call it raw. Here I've selected JSON. So now let's look at the schema, what we have decided. I'll just copy paste it like this, and I'll apply the same values there also. Title, which has to be, let's say, the book name is Let Us See. Author is Yashwant Kanetkar. The initials are enough. Price is, let's say, 12, not 1200, let's say 350. Is on sale, true, and these has to be in double quotes. The key and the value both have to be in the double quotes except this number thing and boolean thing. Done. Now I'll just press on send. Let's see what happens. And it won't send the data for the obvious reason, because the server is now running on port 4000, not on 3000. Close this. What happened? I want to make a new request, and this has to be a post request. This is the body. Raw, not just text. It has to be not JavaScript. It's JSON. Paste it here. Oh my god, again I'll have to do that. I have added it quickly. Now let's cross check everything. Post request on server 4000, it's running on 4000 now. API and that endpoint is also correct. Body, raw, and JSON. Let's press send and see what happened. Yeah, it is inserted, and that's why we are getting this response. I'm getting this response because I'm using this. Okay, and also from where did I get this object? How I was able to send this as an object? Because it was sent as a request, and that request I'm capturing here as a body part. So that's why I added this. And the same book post, I'm passing it to the save method. Okay, this thing, a successful post. This being done, now let's go back to the MongoDB and see if something has been added. Refresh the page. And books have been added. Okay, and if we click on books, I hope there is one data also, which is this, which we just sent from our code. And remember, when I was explaining the book schema to you, I said that it is book. Okay, but you see here the collection, when the collection was created, it became books. So this is the automatic thing. It is automatically converted into plural. Any collection name you mention in the schema, so while creating it, this mongoose model method, it automatically creates the schema with the plural name. Okay, books. This is by convention. Okay, so this was also done. So far so good. So today we saw how to insert the data and how to read the data. Okay, now I want to see what happens when we tamper the schema. Now the fun part begins. Let's say here we have title, here we have a string. Okay, and let me open this side by side. Schema also, and postman as well. In fact, we don't need these server and these files. I'll just say close all. Okay, now we have our schema on one hand, and on the other hand we have our response. Now let's see what happens. So this schema right now, this is the case one. The schema entirely matches with the body, or vice versa. The body which we are sending is exactly matching with the model or the schema that we have defined. Now let's see some different cases. Let's say I forgot to add these two properties. Okay, so this is the case one. I'm going to remove these two properties, let's say. Okay, and instead of let us see, I'll call it, let's say, book 2 and written by auth 2. Let me send this data and see what happens. So this time only 2 properties matches with the schema. I'll press on send and only 2 things got added there. If we go back to the MongoDB and I refresh the page, I can see the data also. Why this tab is still loading? Let's close it. Okay, see, we got our data, book 2 and auth 2. Now one more case. Let me bring it back. Okay, now let's see. We have this much information. We are passing everything from there. The title, let's say book 3, and author is auth 3. Price, let's say 700, and is on sale. No, it's not on sale, false. But this time we removed everything from the schema. Now let's see what happens. Save this, rerun the server. Successfully connected to Mongo. I'll hit on send. See, nothing got saved there. This is some empty document, but when the schema was empty, even if you are passing all the properties from that body, nothing will be saved there. And same thing you can see here also. Okay, I'm not going to refresh it every time. My network is very slow. Let it be. Now let me bring it back. Now let's try something else. What I'll do, I'll make it some other property. I'll call it XYZ and make it Boolean. I'll make it PQR and make it, let's say, number, and I'm going to remove these 2 properties. Rewrite the server. Let me save the code and rerun the server. And from here, what we'll do, I'll pass the correct amount of data. Let's see, I'm passing the correct amount of data. I mean the correct properties with correct amount of data. Let's press send and see what happens. So again, nothing was sent because the properties did not match the schema. One more case we want to see. Let's bring it back, rerun the server, and from the body I'm not passing anything. Again, nothing will be saved for the obvious reason. Okay, nothing was passed, and also it is that means it's not passing, it's not matching with the schema here. Did you notice something? We just saw what happened here. When we try to insert the data, while we are fetching the data, schema doesn't make, I mean, it doesn't matter that much. But whenever we are trying to insert the data, it first validates the same body with the Mongo's schema. If it finds good, the data is inserted, or else the whole body is rejected. So that's why schema is important. It decides the model, it decides the structure of your document. So today we saw the previous 2 videos in action. Actually, previously we discussed the theory part of that, but today we saw the things actually happening. Okay. So we saw everything happening live, and again I'm sorry we again ended up with a long video. Anyway, we'll wind up here. In the upcoming video, we'll write the code for updating and deletion and modifying, find and modify. These are different methods that we'll explore. I hope this was helpful. That's all for today. Let's wind up here. Thank you so much for watching, guys. See you in the next video.